Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie Chan, functional nutrition and lifestyle practitioner, licensed massage therapist, and certified equine massage therapist. Today I'm going to do a short little video on how to give a good back massage. I used to do like a deep tissue massage. I don't do massage anymore. I've moved on to more CranioSacral therapy because I've realized that it's helped my clients get to the root of their pain, which is basically tighten fascia, and that really helps get rid of chronic pain and tension in the body. So now that I'm no longer doing massage, I just wanted to show you guys what I used to do to give a nice, really relaxing back massage. So here's some of my techniques. First of all, I use a little belt hook here for my massage oil, and this just makes it easier for me to always keep contact with the client's body, because that's just going to be more relaxing and offer like a safe environment for the client. I really like to use Soothing Touch massage oil. I've used a lot of massage oils over the years, and I find that my clients like this the best because it doesn't leave a sticky, gross residue after you're done. It's really light, it's not too slippery. As you being the massage therapist, it still gives a good drag, but some slip when you're, working on more of a deep tissue level instead of a Swedish massage. So let's get into it here. Okay, so first I just put a couple drops in my hand and kind of like warm it up. And then we'll just place our hands on the body. And I like to start up top, go around the shoulders, go down. And I just like to make contact with the skin. I'm not focused on digging in here. I'm just kind of feeling, how does the client's tissues feel in my hands right now. We never want to start in too deep because that's too jolting on the body. We're just warming them up right now, warming up the tissue. And I find that it helps to match left and right hands. That's just what's gonna feel the best. Coming all the way down and all the way back up the neck. It just feels more complete that way. And then I'm just gonna grab a little bit more oil. So I just spend some time, maybe like using the heel of my hand here on one side, on that superior side, the very top of the scapula here. Still not digging in here. And I found that the slower you go, just allowing the client's muscle and tissue to move you along, the better of a release you'll get and the better it feels. Okay, so when I feel like I've got the body warmed up here, then I'll pick a side. I'm going to start with his right side, grab a little bit more oil. And I'm not pushing. I'm making contact with the tissue and just gliding along here. I'm using both hands. And using both hands like this is gonna feel much better than if I were to just use one hand. The more surface area that you can cover, the better it's going to feel for the person. And you don't have to make any fancy strokes here. This is just a very basic, feel good massage. Sometimes I put one hand on top of the other. And still I'm really not digging in too much here. I'm just feeling the tissue and I'm getting an idea of where those tight spots are. So I'm feeling a lot of tension here. In that lat area. So I can kind of like come up here, and then where I feel the resistance, I'm just kind of holding, not forcing my way through it, but I'm just allowing the tissue to move me along. Sometimes I like to use my knuckles, a fist, a light fist. I don't like to use my thumbs because that is not good over time. I want to have healthy hands, and to be able to do this for a decade, you wouldn't be able to really dig in with your thumbs. You would have trigger point issues. So sometimes I like to come in like this too, using the forearm and just coming up and feeling kind of with like my elbow forearm area, and then following up with the other arm. And then there's always a tense spot right up in here. So I'm not forcing my way, I'm just meeting the resistance here and just waiting until I feel that tissue kind of melt, and then it's gonna let me pass that little road bump. Okay, so always coming all the way up around the shoulder here. This just makes it feel fluid and connected instead of a really choppy massage. I don't know if you've ever had a choppy massage from someone. It's very frustrating. And then sometimes I like to go with the fist here down into the glutes. Okay, they're tight. They're tightening up. So then I guess that's my signal to soften up here. Yeah, instead of using the fist, maybe you can just use the palm of your hand. And if you feel that tense tightening, then you can just slow it down. Slow actually at times feels a lot better than moving fast and all over the place, because the faster we're moving, the more that's waking the body up. Slower is definitely more calming and more soothing, relaxing. It's slowing the heart rate. So I'm going to come up here again with my right hand, just coming up alongside that muscle on this alongside the spine that's just really tight, and I feel a tight spot here, so I'm just gonna rest here. Again, I'm just resting. I'm not forcing my way in. I'm just kind of leaning into it. And then I'm feeling it give a little bit. And then you could just ask them to take a nice deep breath. And then a lot of times that will release that. And then you can keep moving on up. And then I get to about the top there, and then I'll follow it up with my other elbow. Again, I'm more using like right here instead of the point of my elbow, and just following it up very slowly, because the client here is allowing me in. I'm not bulldozing my way through here. Okay, very good. So we can use deep tissue techniques without forcing our way in here. Just coming up on the outside of that shoulder blade there. This is a really tight area for people as well. Just find that point of resistance where you feel like a roadblock and just hold there. Okay, so then we'll move to the other side, and then we always keep one hand on the client. We'll grab a little bit more oil for this side. Just using two hands to go up around the shoulder and down. Covering as much surface area as we can. I'm feeling a little tightness here, so I'm just coming up around, following that hip bone. This is a common area for a lot of tightness to be, especially in men, but it feels good on for everyone. So if you ever just find an area of tightness, just kind of hold there. I'm not really using much force here. I'm just kind of leaning in. I'm not pushing my way in. Just, there we go. I'm waiting for them to decide when they want to let go. So you may find different areas of tightness on either side, but at the same time, I like to kind of match what I've done here to there because it feels more complete in that person's mind. You could still target certain areas, especially as you move up and work on the upper back here. But right now, I'm just kind of focused on getting that overall, that back massage. Sometimes I like to come in with 2 elbows. There's a tight spot right there, so we'll just ask them to breathe in. And it released so we can keep going, and then I'll follow it up with that other elbow, down and around. Okay, we're really tight on the upper. We're tightening up here. So actually on this side, I'm not feeling as much tension over here. I'm feeling it more up in here. So I don't really need to focus on this area so much. I can do a few strokes through here, and then maybe we could focus more up here. So what I like to do is just take my loose fist here and just come across the top slowly. Just following along the top of the scapula here. They're chicken wings that are sticking out. Around the shoulders and then up the neck a little bit. Again, either side fist. Stopping where I feel a lot of tension. And then feeling it release there. And then I'm able to move on. And if you want to add, just really focus on one area, I'll use a couple thumbs here. But I'm not really pressing down too hard. I'm feeling a lot right on top of his scapula here. So I think what I'll do there is just come in with a light elbow and save my thumb. And then just right before that tight area, I'm just going to sink into the tissue as far as the client is going to allow. Maybe even a little bit before that. And then I'll have him take a deep breath. And maybe another deep breath. I feel it beginning to soften here. And then my elbow is moving because the tissue has changed. And then I'll just go across there. So you could still work deeply without trying too hard and forcing your way through. That feels much better. So the slower you go, the more progress you will make and the better it will feel for that client. I'm just going back in with a loose fist here in that same spot. There, and then they'll just kind of let me through. So then we could kind of just repeat on the other side here. This side isn't as bad. So in a massage, you're just going to find the spots that feel the tightest and focus on those after you've done a good warm up for about 10-15 minutes. So I always like to do a couple of these fluff in between working on that just to get blood moving, and if it gets to be too much and you're too focused on that one area, you can give the body a little break here. I like to come up on either side. I don't know if you can see that on the neck. On either side of the neck with really loose hands. And I always like to finish the back by coming up alongside the occiput here. I'm just waiting for that tissue to kind of soften. Feeling some nice releases. This kind of gives closure to the back massage, or you could end with a nice scalp massage. But when I end, I always go all the way down, back up, around the shoulders, up the neck, and here. And then what I like to do at the very end is get a hot towel from my towel caddy, place that on the back, because that always leaves you feeling nice and refreshed and the back isn't sticky and gross. So I hope that you have enjoyed that short little back massage, and we hope to see you soon.